Look at how happy Christians are when they're talking about Jesus.
Put your hands together.
How come I'm not this happy? I want to be this happy.
Put your hands together.
Of course, those aren't the only faces of Christianity. So I guess it's kind of a mixed bag.
Son, why have you treated us so? Your father and I have been looking for you anxiously.
How is it that you sought me? Did you not know I must be about my father's business?
And then Jesus went missing for 18 years. When he appears again, he's 30 years old and in need of baptism. So he went to John the Baptist, who performed the service. And after he was baptized, Jesus spent 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness being tempted by Satan. And then it was on to the miracles.
There are these other Gospels, and there are the Apocrypha, after all. There are apocryphal New Testament and apocryphal Old Testament stories that frankly, were too folkloristic, and they got thrown out because people thought these couldn't have happened, therefore we get rid of them. But of course, some of the apocryphal stories are as interesting as the regular Bible.
So they kept in walking on water and rising from the dead, but the others, those were not too outlandish.
There have been attempts to it's called demythologizing. There have been attempts mostly by Jesuits and other intellectuals who say, who are upset by in a sense, the folklore, if you like. And they say, let's make this more intellectual. Let's get rid of the folklore. Let's get rid of the virgin birth, which it seems unlikely. Let's get rid of all this stuff. But of course, if you take away the folklore away from the Bible, you don't have a heck of a lot left except begat, 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 begat.
When it comes to Jesus movies, this movie is far and away the number one choice of Christians. Adjusted for inflation, The Singing Jesus made $55 million at the U.S. box office. The Horny Jesus made $13 million. But The Bloody Jesus? $370 million and still counting. Let me propose something. Religion does no harm at all. Discuss.
Well, of course, evidence of history and even contemporary events refutes that.
Whatever.
Even if we set aside, the obvious war, conflict, violence that has always plagued society and has gotten particularly worse under the Judeo-Christian religions. Even if we set that aside, we have ordinary, everyday things that are going wrong. The sort of dehumanization and mistreatment of homosexuals, for example, is a prominent example, and it's getting worse in this country, actually. It was getting better for a while, but now there's this backlash, and that's bad. That's bad for humanity. And a religion that encourages that or even allows that is wrong.
I agree with capital punishment, and I believe that homosexuality is one of those that could be coupled with murder and other sins. It would be the government that sits upon this land who would be executing the homosexuals.
If certain fundamentalist Christians had their way, we would put gay people to death. And you know what? We should do that. We should strap them right to this gurney and lethally inject them. Because God does hate fags. The real question is why moderate Christians don't agree with God. Because when it comes to his rules, God is not a moderate.
Don't you commit yourself to some political party or politician. You commit yourself to the principles of God and demand those parties and politicians align themselves with the eternal values in this book. And America will be forever the greatest nation on this earth.
You ever notice what a bad rap the Inquisition gets? Even some Christians today think it was a bad idea. But how could it be a bad idea? If the Bible is right, aren't the stakes as high as they can be? If a little suffering here on earth saves more souls for all eternity, isn't that a good thing? The Inquisition was not a perversion of Christian doctrine. The Inquisition was an expression of Christian doctrine.
It's interesting to me at great political rallies how you have a Protestant to pray and a Catholic to pray, and then you have a Jew to pray. With all due respect for those dear people, my friend, God Almighty does not hear the prayer of a Jew, for how in the world can God hear the prayer of a man who says Jesus Christ is not the true Messiah?